Okay, what's up, you guys? It's Pwnsweet here, and for those of you new to the channel, I play Call of Duty games basically on Nintendo platforms, and I just chuck it up on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. So, welcome to the channel if you're new around here. For everyone else, hello again, and today's commentary is going to be about Capcom's Ace Attorney series. Now, there's so much to say about this series. I mean, there really is. Like, it's such an awesome series of games, and I think a lot of people haven't given it a chance, and it's a shame because, like I said, they're really, really good games, really interesting, especially for anybody who's interested in games for the storyline, you know, and they're sort of sick of just shooting things in the face all the time, which is a disturbing trend that I find recently in a lot of games. You know, tons and tons of games these days just have like guns and you're shooting things and that's it. You know, tons and tons of them if you think about it. Like back in the old days, nowhere near as many games were revolved around like, you know, first person shooting or third person shooting and killing things and slicing things up and blood and guts and whatever. But anyway, look, I'm sort of going off topic here. So I thought I'd talk about the Phoenix Wright games today, and hopefully you guys will try the new one out that's coming out in 8 days, and you might enjoy it. So first of all, what are these games? Well, it's difficult to explain. If I had to explain it, I would say the best way to describe the Phoenix Wright games are story-based novels that revolve around character interactions that's disguised as a lawyer game. And that's usually where I lose everyone, by the way. Like, as soon as I say a lawyer game, that's it, gone. They're switched off, finished. There's no more finished. That's it, game over. I'm not trying this game. For those of you who know me and have been sort of following me for a while, you'd know that I worked at a game shop for about a year. And one of my goals while I was working there was to sell one of the Phoenix Wright games on the original Nintendo DS to a customer. And the whole year that I was there, I tried different avenues, I tried different angles, I tried explaining it in different ways, and I just could not get anybody to buy the game once they realized that it was a lawyer-based game. I'm not even joking. And that's a real shame because, you know, again, like, these games are awesome, awesome games. They just use the lawyer sort of scenario and this sort of case and mystery sort of scenario as their backdrop, as their way of telling or sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of putting the story together. And, you know, you're not actually, you know, it's not like all about presenting evidence and, you know, contradictions and all this kind of, it kind of is, but it does it in such a way that it's sort of accessible to anyone. And that's just used to sort of push the story forward. It's not what the game's actually about. So that's sort of the best way I can sort of describe what you're doing in the game and sort of what the game's about. But you really have to try it out for yourself. I mean, you really do. Like, if you don't try it out, you're not going to know exactly what it's like. And you can now, because for the latest game in the series, which is coming out on the 24th of October, just 8 days away, they actually have a demo of the game on the 3DS. So on the 3DS eShop, sorry. So if you haven't actually tried it out, I really suggest you go out there and try it out. Download it and just see if you like it. You know, if you like it, then great, you found a new series that you might enjoy. You know, if you don't, then you've only wasted 20-30 minutes, something like that. It's not very long. It's a very short demo, but it gives you the idea of sort of what the general idea of the game is. Now, I don't have too much time left. What I just want to do is give you guys a little bit of a quick history of sort of the game, so that if you find this 3DS one to be interesting, then you sort of know what's out there and other games in the series that you can play. There's 5 main games in the series. The 5th one is the one that's on the 3DS eShop at the moment. 3 games came out originally on the Game Boy Advance, and they starred the main protagonist, Phoenix Wright, and they originally came out on the Game Boy Advance only in Japan. And then what happened was Capcom decided to localize it because they saw that sales of the game were pretty good in Japan, and it was one of those series that they thought maybe would translate over quite well to the West. So they gave it a shot, and sure enough, it did do quite well. In fact, it warranted a sequel, which came out with a new protagonist, Apollo Justice, and that game didn't do too badly. It spawned 2 spin-off titles, one that came out in English, and that wasn't too bad, and another one that didn't. Unfortunately, it was a sequel to that first spin-off title. And that's pretty much it. And then Phoenix Wright's sort of, well, the Ace Attorney series rather has sort of been dead since then, until this new game that's coming out again on the 24th of October, just 8 days away. So there's another game also that was made by the same series director. You may have heard of it. It's called Ghost Trick, and that originally came out on the DS as well. I think it's also been ported to iPhone and the Android App Store and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's actually a very similar game. If you've played that, then you'll have a good idea of what these Phoenix Wright games are sort of like, because that sort of follows the same kind of structure, I would say, as the Phoenix Wright games. I refer to them as the Phoenix Wright games, but they're actually the Ace Attorney games. It's just a habit that I have. My brothers and I have played pretty much all of them, except for the second spin-off title I mentioned earlier that only came out in Japanese. And we're really, really hoping they come out in English. That one there comes out in English at some point. If not, I know there is a fan translation project that's happening at the moment to translate that by fans. So, I don't know. There's always hope. But yeah, look. It's called Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. It's coming out on the 24th of October. It'll be $40 on the Australian Nintendo eShop. I think it's a little cheaper than that in the US and possibly Europe. I've played the demo. It's pretty cool. It looks very similar to the previous games, which were awesome. The previous games probably went for about, I don't know, 15, 16 hours. I wouldn't be too surprised if this new one does about the same sort of length. Try it out if you haven't already, and that's pretty much it from me today, guys. Good luck, and have a good day.
Good job.